Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Average Sports Guy channel. My name is Carlo Pestina, your host, and today's topic of the day is who is the greatest baseball player of all time? I asked Chat GPT this question, and they generated a 64-person tournament of the greatest baseball players ever, randomized them, ranked them, and set up a 64-person tournament for me to decide who the baseball GOAT is. Now, disclaimer: do not get mad at me at any of the rankings because I did not make the rankings. So the rankings were generated by ChatGPT, not me. They're a little crazy. I looked a little bit in advance. I didn't look too closely, but I just skimmed through them, and the rankings are going to be a little bit wild. So without further ado, let's get to the video. All right. So what we have here. First overall seed, Babe Ruth, against Ryan Sandberg. I mean, this is a layup, right? Like, it's Babe Ruth all day. Not even close. I don't even think Ryan Sandberg should be in this list. As much as I love Ryan Sandberg, top 5 second baseman ever, but come on. Willie Mays and Eddie Murray. Eddie Murray is extremely underrated. 3,000 hits, over 500 home runs. The guy deserves his props, but Willie Mays. What are we doing here? Hank Aaron and Dennis Eckersley. Dennis Eckersley was great, but I don't even think he should be on this list, in my opinion. I could name 64 better players than him. Give me Hank Aaron, Ted Williams, and Paul Molitor. Paul Molitor was a very good hitter, but Ted Williams is the greatest hitter of all time. The guy went to the war and came back and won the MVP. I mean, come on, last player to hit over 400. I'm taking Ted Williams. Anyone against Barry Bonds is gonna be in a world of hurt. So Gary Carter, I'm sorry, but you're not Barry Bonds. As great as you were for the Mets and the Expos, you're not Bonds. Mickey Mantle and Pudge. Now, you can make a strong argument that Ivan Rodriguez is the greatest all-around catcher of all time. I would argue he's second because Johnny Bench is my guy. But Mickey Mantle, I mean, is a top 10 player of all time. So I'm going to Mickey Mantle, which is an elite power hitter, very good speed, good outfielder. Suffered a lot of injuries. I mean, it's a shame, but Mickey Mantle was tremendous. Lou Gehrig and Vladimir Guerrero. See, I grew up loving Vladimir Guerrero, and he was one of the best right-handed hitters of my lifetime. The guy hit 300 every year, 30 home runs, 100 RBIs you could pencil in. But Lou Gehrig, you could pencil in for 30 home runs and like 140 RBIs every year, 150 RBIs. I know he had like a 5-6 year stretch where he averaged 165 RBIs. I know he played for the Yankees, and in their murderer's row, the lineup was absolutely stacked, so he benefited from that. But still, his run production is insane. I'm going Lou Gehrig. Ty Cobb and Chipper Jones. That's closer than this is closer than people think. Chipper Jones is one of the best all-around third basemen ever. I mean, he had a decent glove, not terrible, but hitting-wise, the dude was unbelievable. But I mean, Ty Cobb, like a 367 career average, 8 batting titles all day. Walter Johnson and Jim Palmer. Look up Jim Palmer's stats because he is extremely underrated. But he's not Walter Johnson. Walter Johnson is in many people's eyes the greatest pitcher of all time. I know he pitched like over 100 years ago, which is crazy, but I'm going Walter Johnson. Ooh, Stan Musial and Frank Thomas. I'm getting coffee for this one. So, Frank Thomas, you can make the strong argument, is the best right-handed hitter of the last 25 years. Maybe even longer than that. I mean, he's in discussion with guys like Pujols and guys like A-Rod and guys like Manny Ramirez. He was a tremendous all-around hitter with Big Hurt. I'm still going Stan Musial, though. I mean, he had, like over 3,600 hits. I believe he has the most doubles ever. Over a 330 career average. I'm going Stan Musial here. Okay. Rogers Hornsby, Rod Carew. Rogers Hornsby has a career like 358 average. I think 356 or 358. Rod Carew was a tremendous hitter. I know he flirted with 400. I think he batted like 388. Tremendous player, but I'm going Rogers Hornsby. Joe D and Harmon Killebrew. Ooh, um, Joe DiMaggio was so great, man. I think if he would have played 20 years, we would be talking about him as an easy top 5, top 6 player of all time. Um, so I'm going Joe DiMaggio here. Joe D. Honus Wagner and Wade Boggs. Wade Boggs is great. Very good third baseman. I don't think anyone considers him like one of the greatest third basemen ever, and people consider Honus Wagner the greatest shortstop ever, or at least in that discussion. So I'm going Honus Wagner. Sandy Koufax and Robin Yount. What Robin Yount did, be able to go from the shortstop position up to the outfield, was absolutely amazing, and played at a high level. But Sandy Koufax is the greatest peak of any pitcher of all time. Many people say he's the greatest pitcher of all time. So Sandy Koufax, Cy Young and Ozzie Smith, best defensive shortstop ever. Give him that. Below average hitter. Cy Young, 511 wins, 749 complete games. That record will never be broken. I'm going Cy Young. Ooh, Jackie Robinson and Pete Rose. I don't know if Jackie Robinson should be ranked that high. I know Jackie Robinson was great, and obviously what he faced was absolutely despicable. And it's a shame that he only played like 9 or 10 seasons in the majors because of just how racist the country was. So, but I'm going Pete Rose, man. I mean, hit king, 4,256 hits. I can't go against that. He should be in the Hall of Fame. It's ridiculous he's not. R.I.P. Give me Pete Rose. Greg Maddux and Carl Yastrzemski. Yaz was a tremendous all-around player. Won the Triple Crown MVP. Great all-around left fielder for the Red Sox, but Mad Dog, 4 straight Cy Youngs, one of the best pitchers of the '90s. And I'm doing what he did in the steroid era is just unbelievable. Pedro Martinez and Steve Carlton. Oh man, this is hard. Um, Steve Carlton was really good. Like, look up his stats. But I'm still going Pedro Martinez because of what he did in the era that he played in. Like 96 or 97 through 2003, like Pedro Martinez was incredible. In 2000, had a 1.74 ERA. And second was Roger Clemens in the AL with a 3.70. That goes to show you how dominant Pedro was, even pitching in the AL East and in Boston. I'm going Pedro. Looks like this one already picked for some reason. Randy Johnson and Reggie Jackson. Maybe my fat fingers hit the button, but I would have picked Randy Johnson anyway. As great as Reggie Jackson was, he was not. He was not better at his position or a better hitter than Randy Johnson was a pitcher. Randy Johnson is in my top 3 pitchers of all time. 4 straight Cy Youngs from '99 through 2002. Dominant in the postseason for the Diamondbacks when they won the World Series. So I'm going Randy Johnson. Roberto Clemente and Tony Gwynn. Pure hitting, Tony Gwynn. All around, Roberto Clemente has probably the greatest arm of any outfielder ever. And could do anything on the baseball field. I'm going Roberto Clemente. Ken Griffey Jr. and Mel Ott. Not a lot of people know who Mel Ott is, and he's extremely underrated for a guy who hit over 500 home runs. And he had a ton of RBIs, too. I'm going Ken Griffey Jr., though. 10 Gold Glove, is arguably one of the best defensive center fielders ever. Tremendous power hitter. It's a shame he got injured all those years, or else we might be talking about Griffey as the hit king. I'm taking a sip of coffee here, getting ready for this next one, and we're wrapping up round 1 here. Just got a few first round matchups left. So I'm surprised at these rankings. Like, I'm surprised just of the people that we haven't seen so far. Like no Ichiro, no Albert Pujols, no A-Rod, no steroids and stuff. But come on, I mean, top 64 player ever. A-Rod has to be there. Like, what are we doing? So maybe we'll see Mike Schmidt. Haven't seen him yet. Frank Robinson over Eddie Collins. I know Eddie Collins was great, but Frank Robinson, I think he was the first player ever to win the MVP in both leagues. Frank Robinson is pretty underrated. Ricky Henderson, Joe Morgan. Oh, this is a hard one because Joe Morgan is probably my my greatest second baseman ever. The guy won, I believe he won back-to-back MVPs and was a great power hitter for second baseman. Stole a ton of bags as well, not nearly as much as Ricky Henderson, but but his numbers for the second base position were incredible. I know he has over a 100 WAR, I think 100.6. I'm still going Ricky Henderson though. I mean, no one's touching his steals record. The guy just wreaked havoc on the bases. Like when he walked, he would be on third base in two pitches. Um, the guy was incredible, best leadoff hitter ever. Roger Clemens and Jimmy Fox. See, it's hard when it's a pitcher against a hitter. I always try to judge it based off, okay, well, where do you rank amongst all-time hitters and where do you rank amongst all-time pitchers? And I know Roger Clemens, yes, steroids, I get it, but 7 Cy Youngs. He's one of the greatest pitchers ever. I know Jimmy Fox was a fantastic hitter, but I don't think anyone considers him like a top 5 player ever. So I'm going Roger Clemens. Mike Schmidt and Mariano Rivera. My biased self wants to say Mariano Rivera, greatest closer of all time, extremely clutch. Doing what he did for 20 years will probably never be done again. You see closers flame out in like 1 or 2 years today. But Mike Schmidt, man, led the league in home runs 8 times. 3-time MVP winner, World Series winner, 10th-time Gold Glove winner. He's the greatest third baseman of all time, in my opinion. I can't go against Mike Schmidt. Chrissy Mathewson and Derek Jeter. Chrissy Mathewson was a fantastic pitcher. I remember when he pitched 3 games in the World Series for the Giants. Like, yeah, those days are almost over for I'm starting pitchers, unless you're unless you're Yamamoto. But Chrissy Mathewson pitched like full games, didn't just come in relief for like 3 innings, but also right different different game back then. Pitchers weren't throwing as hard and having these crazy spin rates. I get it. Still impressive. But we're going against Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter's my guy. 5-time World Series champion. Over 3,600 hits. The guy was just a model of consistency for his entire career. I'm going Derek Jeter. That's my guy. I know I'm biased, but I don't care. It's my video. Johnny Bench and Tris Speaker. I think Tris Speaker has like a 340 something career average, which is pretty remarkable. But we're going against Johnny Bench. Johnny Bench is my greatest catcher of all time. A tremendous power hitter, won the MVP, won numerous World Series, the best defensive catcher of all time, in my opinion. I'm going Johnny Bench. Lefty Grove and George Brett. Many people consider Lefty Grove the greatest pitcher ever. But man, I want to be consistent in my takes here because George Brett, some people consider him the best third baseman ever. Some put him like second or third behind Mike Schmidt, and some people put him behind Chipper Jones. I know it's really close. And Lefty Grove was a fantastic pitcher. I'm going George Brett, though. I'm going George Brett. People might hate on me for that one, but I think it's pretty close. This is the closest one so far. Bob Gibson, Albert Pujols. Because you're talking about Bob Gibson, who had a 1.12 ERA in 1968, and they changed the game because of that, because he was so dominant. So they had to lower the mound. Pretty crazy. And Bob Gibson's ERA, I know his career ERA was under 3, or I believe it was. And Albert Pujols, this is hard. Because I see Albert Pujols having like 2 separate careers. First half with the Cardinals, best start to a career ever. Like 2001 through 2011, fantastic. Then when he went to the Angels, it started going downhill. And he became an average to a below average player for the next 10, 11 years. It's hard for me to put you like as a GOAT when you have like a tale of 2 careers. I'm not saying Pujols wasn't so good for the Angels. He's good, but I mean he wasn't even a top first baseman in the league, like not even close. Bob Gibson didn't really have that drop off. As good as Pujols is, I think I'm going Josh Gibson. I am Josh Gibson. Nolan Ryan, and Alex Rodriguez. Nolan Ryan was fantastic. I get it. 7 no hitters. He never won a Cy Young, though. I kind of hold that against him. How do you not win a Cy Young in like 24 years? That goes to show me that, yes, his duration was great. Sorry, no, not even 24 years. It says here 1966 through 1993, 27 years. I knew Nolan Ryan played forever, but holy crap. Um, but his peak just wasn't as high as a lot of the other pitchers that I have ahead of him. And Alex Rodriguez was one of the best players I've ever seen in my life. I know this steroid stuff, I get it. One of the best shortstops ever. Like his hitting statistics at that position were incredible. He was great defensively, probably the best in baseball during his time behind Omar Vizquel. I'm going A-Rod, Cal Ripken, and Warren Spahn. Ripken's consecutive game streak will never be broken. You rarely see guys even play 162 games anymore. Warren Spahn, I know, has over 350 wins, and he was in the war. And I know wins aren't everything. That's still impressive, though. If he would have went to the war, he would have had over 400 wins. One of the best pitchers of all time. I'm going Warren Spahn. Yogi Berra, Tom Seaver. Again, my Yankees biasness here wants to say Yogi Berra. 10 World Series, 3 MVPs, probably the greatest winner in baseball history. I believe he won. I believe he has won the most World Series for any player ever. But Tom Seaver was a great pitcher, man. I have Tom Seaver in my top 6 or 7 pitchers ever. I think he gets a little overlooked. Like everyone just looks at that class of Pedro, Maddox, Randy Johnson, Koufax, and they kind of sleep over Seaver. I'm going Tom Seaver here. So that wraps up round 1. Now let's get into round 2. These rankings are interesting. Oh, this sucks. So what they did was that they didn't do it like a normal tournament would. How you do the highest seed against the lowest seed. They just did matchup by matchup and put them next to each other. So this next matchup of Babe Ruth and Willie Mays probably would have been close to my final. These are 2 of my top 3 players of all time. I'm going Willie Mays here. As great as Babe Ruth is, I get it. I know he pitched, but he only did it for a few years. Willie Mays did everything on the baseball field. He could run, best defensive center fielder ever, hit for power, hit for average, great speed. I'm going Willie Mays. Willie Mays was tremendous. Hank Aaron and Ted Williams and Hank Aaron. This is hard. What Hank Aaron did for that long was pretty incredible. But I think I'm going Ted Williams here. Ted Williams was absolutely incredible. Look at his baseball reference page. The whole thing is black. He led the league in everything. I know he had the highest on-base percentage ever at 482. Think about that, 482. That's crazy. Ted Williams moves on. Bonds and Mickey Mantle. Whew, man, these matchups are hard. Why do they have to do these rankings this way? This makes it way harder. I'm going Barry Bonds. I know the steroid stuff, but come on. Peak Bonds was incredible. Even before steroid, Bonds was incredible. I believe that if you take Bonds in his first 10, 11 years before steroids, he has a higher WAR than Ken Griffey Jr. did for his entire career. That goes to show you Bonds impacted the game in many different ways, not just hitting, but he was a Gold Glove winner. He won multiple Gold Gloves with the Pirates and Giants. Great speed as well. He was a fantastic player. Lou Gehrig and Ty Cobb. 2 tremendous hitters, but I will always take the guy with the better power and run production. I'm going Lou Gehrig. Walter Johnson and Stan Musial. See, in this case, when they're both some of the best at their position at their craft ever, Walter Johnson's one of the best pitchers ever. Stan Musial is one of the best. He's one of the best hitters ever. Stan Musial. I'm going Stan Musial. When it's this close, I'll always go with the hitter because he impacts the game more. He impacts the game on a daily basis. And Stan Musial was incredible. Rodas Hornsby, Joe DiMaggio. Uh, this is so close because it's like Joe D would have been better in my opinion. Um, look look at his look at his statistical averages. Joe DiMaggio, I think he averaged like 140 RBIs a year, just insane. I think he batted 325 over his career. I know it's not as good as Hornsby's, um, but man, he was just so good, and so was Hornsby. I get it, but my gut, I'm telling me, it's saying Joe D. I'm going Joe DiMaggio, Honus Wagner, and Sandy Koufax. Oh, this is a really hard one. Arguably the greatest shortstop against one of the greatest pitchers ever. I gotta stay consistent, like with the Walter Johnson and Stan Musial take. I'm going Honus Wagner here. Pete Rose and Cy Young. Hmm. Again, we got to go at where does Pete Rose rank amongst the all-time like baseball players? Like I don't even think Pete Rose is top 15. Probably top 20. Probably. Um, but Cy Young is. I mean, people at least have him in the top 10 pitchers ever. And I think that they just hold it against him that he pitched in the 1890s and early 1900s because the dude was pitching like every day. But I'm still going with Cy Young, man. I can't go against all of his totals. They're insane. Okay, this is not fun. Greg Maddux and Pedro Martinez. Peak Pedro. I think overall career Greg Maddux, and I'm going Greg Maddux here. Randy Johnson and Roberto Clemente. Roberto Clemente was great all around. I gotta stay consistent though. Like Randy Johnson is one of the best pitchers ever. Some people would say the greatest pitcher ever. So I gotta say, like, how great are you as a pitcher and how great are you as a position player? I don't think anybody has Roberto Clemente in their top 10. I don't think anyone has Clemente in their top 10 position players ever. I would have him top 20 for sure, probably closer to that 20 range, but I'm going Randy Johnson. He's moving on. King Griffey Jr. and Frank Robinson. Ooh, this is a tough one. 21 and 22. Hmm. First of all, I think Griffey would be higher on my list than 21. He would definitely be top 15. I'm going King Griffey. Just all around, I believe he was a better player. So I'm going King Griffey Jr. Ricky Henderson and Roger Clemens. Best leadoff hitter ever. Most steals that won't be touched. I'm going Ricky Henderson here. He was tremendous. Mike Schmidt and Derek Jeter. Oh well. Looks like I already picked Mike Schmidt. And to be fair, I I would have picked him too. As much as the fanboy of Derek Jeter that I am, I love Derek Jeter. But I'm not going to deny the greatness of Mike Schmidt. Like I said earlier, 10 Gold Gloves, three-time MVP winner, led the league in home runs 8 times, most home runs for a third baseman ever at 548, I believe. The dude was absolutely fantastic. I can't. I have Mike Schmidt as a top 15 player ever. I think he's insanely underrated, even though yes, he's in the Hall of Fame, but he's underrated in the fact no one talks about him as one of the best players ever. He is one of the best players ever. He's moving on. Johnny Bench and George Brett. I'm going to go a little quicker here. I'm going Johnny Bench. Again, catcher go. In my opinion, impacts the game more. I think he's more valuable, and I think he was better at his position than George Brett was at his. Bob Gibson and A-Rod. Oh man, damn! I want you guys to comment on who you think is better, Bob Gibson or A-Rod for their career, and don't be biased. People hate A-Rod because of steroid stuff, and I get it. I get it. He lied, sleazy, not good. Still going A-Rod though. He was a tremendous player. I know Bob Gibson's been the best all-time pitchers, but I'm going A-Rod. Warren Spahn and Tom Seaver. Man, that's really hard. My gut's telling me Tom Seaver, and I don't know. Maybe it's because of the run prevention. I'm going Tom Seaver here. Maybe just pitching in a little bit of a harder era. So that wraps up round 2. Now we're in the Sweet 16. Oh my gosh, these top matchups are getting harder. Willie Mays and Ted Williams. 2 against 4. I'm holding the defense against Ted Williams here. When it's this close for a player, I really have to nitpick. And Willie Mays' defense, man, he's the best defensive center fielder of all time, in my opinion. I'm going Willie Mays over Teddy Balkin. Barry Bonds and Lou Gehrig. Man, this is a tough one too. Bonds and Gehrig. Um, I'm going Bonds. Look at his baseball reference page. It's absolutely incredible. Like from 01 through 04, like having seasons of over a 500 on base. And like 2004 had over an 800 slugging percentage. Like just insane. But even before that, people don't realize how great Bonds was. 7-time MVP winner. Like, come on, man. We're going Barry Bonds. Stan Musial and Joe DiMaggio. I think this is where my love for Joe DiMaggio ends. When it's this close, I'm going for the guy with the longevity and who never really fell off. Like, if you can play that long and play at an MVP level for that long, like Stan Musial did, that's fantastic. I'm going to Stan Musial. Honus Wagner and Cy Young. Man, again, when it's this close, I think Honus Wagner ranks higher amongst all-time shortstops than Cy Young does amongst all-time pitchers. I know there's more competition at pitcher for sure. That might not be a fair assumption. But I think most people would even say Honus Wagner is a top 10 to 12 player ever. I'm going Honus Wagner here. He's moving on to the Elite Eight. Greg Maddux and Randy Johnson. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. These are my top 2 pitchers ever. I'm going Randy Johnson. I think he was more dominant. His strikeout totals are better. Greg Maddux, I think, was a little bit better at run prevention, but not by much. And I want to take into account everything with Randy Johnson, with the postseason play, run prevention, strikeout totals. Like, his strikeout totals are insane. I'm going Randy Johnson here. And I saw something that said that, like, Randy Johnson, I think over the age 30, had like, I think he had like, I don't know if he had over 300 wins, or I think it was pretty darn close, which is absolutely insane. So Big Unit moves on. Ken Griffey Jr. and Ricky Henderson. Oh man, when it's this close, like I said, like with Lou Gehrig and Ty Cobb earlier, I take the power here and the defense. Like, I got to start nitpicking here. Griffey, I think all around was a little more polished than Ricky. So Ken Griffey Jr. is moving on to the Elite Eight. Mike Schmidt and Johnny Bench. Oh, my best third baseman against my best catcher ever. Yes, Johnny Bench's position is more valuable. But Mike Schmidt, I think, was even more dominant than Johnny Bench was. Mike Schmidt was a tremendous third baseman, a tremendous power hitter. Like I said, led the league in home runs 8 times during his time in the league. 3-time MVP winner, World Series winner. Mike Schmidt's moving on. Alex Rodriguez and Tom Seaver. To me, this one's not that close. I'm going Alex Rodriguez here. I know Tom Seaver's a fantastic pitcher, but A-Rod was tremendous. Oh, this would have been my final right here. In the Elite Eight now. We're in the Elite Eight. We got Willie Mays and Barry Bonds. I'm going Willie Mays. I know people might think I'm crazy, but I know Bonds was a better hitter overall for sure. But Willie Mays, man, there's nothing on a baseball field he couldn't do. Absolutely tremendous. I'm going Willie Mays. Stan Musial and Honus Wagner. Again, when it's this close, I gotta stay consistent. I gotta go with the power. I'm going Stan Musial here. And then Randy Johnson. Who's Randy Johnson against here? Randy Johnson. Oh my gosh, Ken Griffey Jr. My pitching goat against one of the greatest players of all time. I'm going Ken Griffey Jr. here. I'm going with the position player here. Ken Griffey Jr. amongst center fielder. Like, Willie Mays is 1 and Ken Griffey Jr. is 2, in my opinion. And if it wasn't for the knee injuries, Griffey probably would have been 750 home runs, close to 800. And we would be saying he's like a top 3 player ever. So Ken Griffey Jr. Mike Schmidt and A-Rod. I think this is where my love for A-Rod stops. I know um, A-Rod was absolutely tremendous, but I got to be fair here too. And this is, I have to nitpick. And I think in order to nitpick, I have to come to the conclusion that A-Rod, uh, that A-Rod did cheat. Um, and like, at least with Bonds, we, there's evidence. Um, there's actually evidence that Barry Bonds didn't take steroids until 1998. So we know Bonds was clean for the first 11 to 12 years of his career. We don't know that about A-Rod. And when it's this close, and Mike Schmidt, like I said, the Gold Gloves, the MVPs, I can't go against that. I'm going Mike Schmidt here, and he's going to the Final Four. So the Final Four matchups: Willie Mays and Stan Musial, Ken Griffey Jr. and Mike Schmidt. What an interesting Final Four! Like I would have had Willie Mays, Bonds, Babe Ruth, and Hank Aaron, or not. I'm Hank Aaron. Ted Williams. Hank Aaron is my fifth player of all time. Willie Mays, Stan Musial. I'm going Willie Mays, going to the finals. Ken Griffey Jr. and Mike Schmidt. I'm going Ken Griffey Jr. here. I think he's a little bit more polished than Mike Schmidt was at everything: power, defense, hitting for average. Ken Griffey Jr. Willie Mays and Ken Griffey Jr. in the championship. Good one here. Good one. Part of me wanted to pick Griffey, but no, I can't. I'm going with the say hey kid. The defense, the power, the speed, everything. I'm going Willie Mays. Willie Mays is the greatest baseball player of all time. Well, that'll wrap up today's video. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Comment below with your greatest baseball player of all time, and hit that like button, smash that subscribe button for more sports content. I got more videos to come for you guys. So thank you so much for tuning in to this video. Please like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.